Good evening. Welcome. Hope everyone's having a good evening, a good Sunday. Maybe another busy week for some, but we're a week closer to half term, so something to look forward to. A bit of revision around the corner, maybe, but let's not take it too negative. Um, how is everyone doing? I see some people in the chat. Anyone coming from where they've been before? Royal Bari, nice to see you. How are you doing? Obviously, as I've mentioned before, if we get more people in the chat, then more chances for prizes. But who's going to be the lucky two people today? We reached, I think, 30 people in the last live. So we're getting there bit by bit. But if you can encourage some more people to join us, remember 50 is the magic number and we'll start to increase the prices again. Yeah, so more prizes. So yeah, if you know anyone, get them to join and we can see if we get there, hopefully, and we can start to make this even bigger. So a massive thank you to all of you so far that have joined. It's always a bit of good fun, obviously a bit of friendly competition. Nothing wrong with that, but revising at the same time. So, hi, Oliver. This is for a quiz on physics today, particularly on energy. Okay. So we're going to be looking at things like specific heat capacity, energy stores, energy changes, equations with energy, that kind of thing. So again, I'm going to be, as we have been with these lives, go through the content. We'll cover a bit of it together, and then kind of covering bits that are going to be in the quiz. So firstly, make sure you're paying attention, and then also engage with me in the chat because we have our opportunity to win the prizes. So what are the prizes? There is a £25 Amazon gift voucher for the first winner for first place, and for second place there is a £5 Amazon gift voucher. So if you want to be a part of that, obviously the first step, you need to be subscribed to our channel on Flash Revision Lab on YouTube. So it looks like if you are chatting in the chat, you are completed on step one, which is excellent. Now, then you want to be taking part in the chat, as I've mentioned, and please do take a screenshot of that. Okay, so show us that you're explaining it, so that you're working with me and engaging with me in the chat in the revision session. And then you want to try and win the quiz, obviously, ultimately. Yeah, you want to become first or second. I'll start opening the Kahoot now so you can see the pin. So if you want to join us, please do www.kahoot.it, and the pin is 6322842. Okay, so I'll leave this here for a couple of minutes just to get some people in ready to go. I'll obviously wait for the numbers to go up, whilst also I want to cover the stuff that's in this quiz in the topics on our website briefly. Social Liger, that is our first one in the chat. Will they be the only one? Nope, determined cat is there. Now let's see a few more people drop in. Let me know who you are in the chat so I can try and keep a track of it. Usually I'm quite bad at it because the names are so unusual, but I think sometimes I can remember if you're following it in the chat. When we start the quiz, Royal Bari, at about 8:15, maybe 8:10. Like I said, I want to get through the stuff in content-wise through to prepare for the quiz. So let me get through that. The faster I do that, the faster we'll be ready to start. Yeah, so I'm going to have a look at that. But what I was saying is here, just in terms of winning the quiz and getting a prize, you want to take a screenshot of your Kahoot page when you win, and we will know what the real winner or one of the winners looks like because of the way the screen is set up, that it's actually you. So please do send that screenshot along with the screenshot of you engaging in the chat to help@flashrevisionlab.com. That is our email address. Okay, send it to that and say, hi, I've won the quiz today. Here's my screenshot of my YouTube chat and also my Kahoot. Okay, so there it is, 6322842. If anyone remembers it and people join, please do let them know. I will come back here in a few minutes. But good to see the numbers slowly creeping up. Okay, so let's take a look today. We are looking at, I'll go to combined science on the website. This website, for those of you that aren't familiar and are new here, flashrevisionlab.com. You can just see it in our email here, flashrevisionlab.com. I'll just underline that bit there. That is our website. Okay, so on there you'll see this. You get access to all three sciences: biology, chemistry, physics, and all the syllabus is covered with notes by us. Okay, and you sign up for free and then make an account with us. You'll get access to all of our notes. Okay, and I'll start with energy. So here we are looking at changes in energy and energy stores. So let me have a look at that. Let's see. So here you'll see we've got a notes tab going through all the notes of everything you need to know. And how can I validate that that's everything you need to know? Well, we keep the spec tab. Yeah, so you can take a look at the spec tab. You can see exactly what is covered in the specification, and you can cross-check that with our notes. It's definitely all covered. Okay, so take a look at that, and then once you've learned that, you can go and check your knowledge using this exam mode feature. Okay, so you can see here different questions, and there they are. Yeah, you can try them, past paper type questions, along with the mark scheme to review and see how you found it, whether you got it right or wrong, and learn for next time. If you're with our pro account, FRL Pro, you get access to all the questions here. Yeah, you get access to the notes as well as all the exam questions for practice, and as well as our new feature, flashcards, which I've again shown before. So, for example, what kind of energy is released during nuclear reactions? Who can tell me in the chat? Roulette Bari, I'm shining eel or shining L. Sorry, I didn't see it. Don't know if it's shining L or shining eel. I will keep an eye out for you. But who can tell me what type of energy is released during nuclear reactions? So Oliver said kinetic, I believe. Someone said nuclear energy, Jada, thermal, nuclear, chemical. Bit of a range of answers there. Okay, so let's take a look. The answer is nuclear. Yeah, it's a nuclear reaction, so it's going to have nuclear energy. Okay, so that is what that is. So for those of you that maybe didn't get that, click still learning. Yeah, that will take you, and keep that card to the side for you to revisit later. Let's take this one. What type of energy transfer occurs when current flows in a circuit? Does anyone know that? What type of energy is that? You're getting spammed with ads. Sorry, I don't know if that may be a YouTube thing, Jada. Not to do with me right now. Hopefully not. But yeah, hopefully you should be back with us soon. Chemical. Ooh, maybe. Does anyone agree, disagree with Newton's answer? What do we think? We see some more answers here. Electrical. Okay, a couple of people saying electrical. Jada said electrical again. Ashwin also says electrical. Let's take a look at the answer. It is electrical work. Yes, so electrical energy. So if you say you know that, that's great. It will swipe the card to the right and it goes in your known pile. So you can track what you know and what you don't know. Yeah, it's a good system to kind of keep you and your revision in check as a mini kind of quiz, but also tracking your knowledge along the way. If you're done with this topic, you can mark it as complete. And you can see at the top, the bar is going to change. It's going to fill. It should fill up. There you go. Because we've done one section of this topic. So then as you go progress more, you can leave the website, come back, and then you're going to see where you left off, yeah, and see what you've covered. So it's a great tool, I think, for tracking your revision. I wish I had it when I was studying, and I'm just glad that we could offer this to you guys. So please do have a look. The last package we have, so we talked about FRL Pro, having access to everything on the website. There are some people in the chat that can attest to this, but our other package is FRL Classes, okay? That is where we do live classes every Friday, every Sunday for biology, chemistry, and physics, with a workbook for each class that you fill in as you go along. Yeah, so you can print out the workbook beforehand, fill it in with us in the class, and you have a full set of notes come the end of us going through the syllabus, a full set of notes with workbooks ready to go for your revision. And yeah, great tool. And some people here, even from these lives, for those of you that have joined, thank you very much. We've had a bunch of people join since we started doing these quizzes. And I'm hoping that you guys are finding it useful. And yeah, we're trying to offer as much as we can to you guys. It's £22 for the month, but there are 3 classes a week. So that's 12 classes in a month, less than £2 a class. Yeah, you can't really go wrong with that. So yeah, please do check it out. Please do have a look at our website, sign up, join us, join our classes, and we'd love to have you. Yeah. If obviously you're looking at payment and stuff and your parents usually handle it, take a look at this here. It's our website for parents. It's called frleducation.com. Okay. So I'm going to put that down here just for reference. frleducation.com. Okay. And on here, you can see the page that I'm showing you now. You just scroll down. And if your parents have any questions or they want to see anything or speak to us directly, then please take a look. You scroll down, you can see we've got parent consultations. Okay, so here you can just book in a slot in the calendar, pick a day that works for you, a time that works for you, and it will just be a free little chat just to give them a feel for things. If you feel like you want them to make sure they're happy with everything before you sign up, no problem. Yeah, we're happy to do that. So do check it out. flashrevisionlab.com for students, for the notes, frleducation.com if you want to show your parents and get signed up. Cool. So without further ado, let me get a bit into this. So energy stores. Okay, we spoke about a couple so far. I'm just going to whiz through some of the other types. So we've got thermal, as the name suggests, to do with heat. Yeah, so energy change based on the temperature of an object. We then have chemical energy. Yeah, so chemical energy is energy that's stored in food. And I've given an example there, batteries. It can also be oil or petrol or diesel for a car. That's fuel. So any sort of fuel is chemical energy. Kinetic energy is energy through movement. Okay, so when we run, whether a car's driving, an object moving is always kinetic energy. We then have gravitational potential, which is to do with the height or position of an object. The higher it is, the more gravitational potential it will have. We then have elastic potential, as the name suggests, elastic rubber bands. Yeah, so when you stretch or squash an object, because a spring can be squashed or compressed. So when you stretch or compress an object, the energy stored in that is elastic potential. We then have what we saw in the flashcard, everyone saw it earlier, nuclear energy, energy from nuclear reactions. Magnetic energy, so from magnets and poles attracting and repelling from opposite and like poles on a magnet. And then electrostatic energy. Yeah, so energy between for electrostatic forces of attraction between positive and negatively charged particles. Okay, so those are our different types, and what we see is how they are transferred. Okay, so they are transferred in different ways. Okay, so I'm going to put here as well, just alongside our notes, types of energy transfer. Yeah, so how is the change happening? How is it changing from one type to another? That's what we're referring to. Okay, so mechanical, the first one they're showing there, is like a person pushing an object. Yeah, so if you're pushing an object, you're transferring it mechanically through motion, through physical force. Yeah, so through force. So that's how you're transferring energy mechanically when you're using a force to transfer that energy, because you're passing your chemical energy is being used to push the box moves, kinetic energy is the output. Okay, so another example, as the name suggests, by heating. Okay, so that can be say, let's say the kettle that I'm showing there. So if I say the kettle is the device, what is the input energy to the kettle and what's the output energy? So where's the energy for the kettle coming from? Can anyone tell me in the chat? Whilst let me catch up there, can you explain work done? I just don't understand it. Also, what's the difference between the acceleration equations? Okay, no, absolutely, Oliver. I will cover that. Obviously, it's not in the quiz, so if you stay behind just for literally a couple of minutes at the end, I will definitely cover that. I'll bear that in mind. I'm just going to make a note of it here. Yeah, so you said work done and equations for acceleration. So equations for A. I'll just make a note of that for you, Oliver. We'll cover that at the end, just briefly to show you what the difference is. Shouldn't take too long. Philip, hi again. Good to see you. Only been a few minutes, but thank you for being here. I can advocate for how great they are. I mean, 9 for All Sciences. Yeah, Philip is doing amazingly well and is a great part of our community at Flash Revision Lab. So thank you very much for being a part of our community. The main supply, Jada, you're correct, but it's the energy type we're looking for, which Philip has mentioned, electrical. Yeah, so electrical energy is the input because it comes, like you said, Jada, from our main supply. So that's the input energy. And the output energy, I think Philip has mentioned, the aim of the kettle is to heat up water, right? So thermal energy is the output because we're heating up the water. But then what we're talking about here with energy transfers that you can see on the page is the method by which that energy change is happening. So it's from kinetic electrical energy to thermal energy via heating. Heating is the energy transfer method. You can say sound energy, Royal Barry. Obviously, you do hear your kettle going off, but it's not a useful energy transfer, right? It's not really what we want. Yes, some is dissipated as noise. Jada, you've said it exactly as well. Yes, so it's kind of a wasted release, but we're talking about the useful transfer in this case. Not talked about, and I'm not covering it exactly today, but efficiency. Yeah, so how efficient something is how little waste energy there is. The more sound a kettle makes, the more waste there is, right? It's not what we want the kettle to do. So then the other two, sorry, I didn't mention electrically. So transferring electrically is through circuits. So current flows through a circuit like an electric fan. That is how you get electrical energy transfer. And then radiation. So through, say, like in the form of a wave, like the sun warming up the earth, that is a way that we use radiation to transfer energy from one place to another. Okay. So a couple of other examples I've mentioned here. So you can see with the ball, if it's moving, the energy change is different, right? If I throw a ball up in the air, that's mechanical movement. I'm mechanically transferring the energy, but the ball's going up. It's going to slow down, isn't it? So the more motion there is, the more kinetic energy there is. So the ball is moving to start with, there's kinetic energy. Then as the ball starts to slow down, it's getting higher. So therefore, we're getting more gravitational potential. So therefore, the energy transfers from kinetic to gravitational potential. Then on the flip side, if I drop the ball from the sky, it's at a height, so it has gravitational potential. And then let go and it falls down, it's then mechanically turning into kinetic energy. And that kinetic energy store is increasing because it's speeding up. Yeah. So that's the kind of thing we'll see for energy transfers. That is going to be coming up in the quiz. So bear that in mind. When will we do a stream for electricity? As in one of these lives? Soon, definitely soon. We've obviously done electricity in our FRL classes package. So people that are on that do have access to the lessons we did on it already in more detail. Obviously, this is quite a quick session, so I'm going to roll through this quite quickly. But in our FRL classes, we definitely go into all the detail. You get a workbook at the end. But yeah, we will be coming to electricity as a quiz at some point. So stay tuned for that. Clipped Chopper, cool name. Mohammed, hey sir, for some reason I couldn't chat in here, although I was subscribed. But hey, okay, but it's working now. I don't know. I think some people may have had slight issues with YouTube today. I don't know if it's just a YouTube thing, but obviously you're chatting, so good to see you here now, and you are taking part, so that's great. And good luck today. Okay, so we've talked about some energy transfers, so I've marked that as complete. I'm going to move to the next stage. Okay, so I want to talk about what else we're going to cover today. So changes in energy, again, we've kind of discussed a bit of it, but there's equations to look at. Okay, so these are the equations you need to know. There are 3 of them. Okay, so I'm going to put them here. Kinetic energy, Ke, is half mv squared. Okay, because remember, kinetic energy is to do with the motion of an object, right? So the more motion there is, the more kinetic energy there is. So the thing that's covering motion in this equation is v for velocity or speed, right? So velocity squared multiplied by the mass. Now, with all of these, important to know, right? All energy. Does anyone tell me what the units are for energy? So in this case, kinetic energy, what are the units? I'm kind of showing it here. It's actually written there. No, I'm asking you. I'm just making sure you're paying attention, basically. Then I. What are the units? All energies measured in joules. Well done, guys. Yeah, so that is joules. And then mass, the standard unit is kilograms. And for velocity, it's meters per second, right? Distance over time for speed. Same as that, it's meters per second. Nice, guys. I'm dropping it in. Joules is the measure for energy. Thank you very much. Yeah. So that is one of the equations we'll apply. It's very important that which is why I mentioned it, that you know the units. You are given equations in the formula sheet. Obviously, it's important that you know the units for everything, because there are questions where you'll get a calculation, you get the answer, but then they'll say state the unit. So make sure you look at what they're asking you for and you apply the correct unit at the end. So I always test people on that just to make sure they're covered. Okay. So that's kinetic energy. The other equation is for elastic potential energy. Okay, so this is when you stretch, like I said, a stretch or compress an object. You can stretch a spring stretch an elastic band, sorry, and you can compress or squash a spring. And when you do that, the energy stored in that object is elastic potential energy. So I'm going to put EE for kinetic energy. For elastic potential energy. It looks very similar to the kinetic energy equation because it's half something times something squared, but the letters are different. Okay, so half k, I put x. You can use e. I used to be taught x when I was in school, but it's changed now. Half k e squared, where e is the extension. So we talk about stretching something, how far it's been stretched from its original length. That is called extension. Okay, so that is a distance. So that should be measured in. Can anyone tell me if it's a distance? It's there again. And then this K is something else. I'll see what it says. Let me drop in the chat whilst people answer that question. So I was third last time. Yeah, hoping to come second, first or second at least. Yes, keep pushing to Mohammed. Today might be the day. Philip believes in you. So do I. Meters, correct, everyone. Yeah, so extension, as it's a distance, is measured in meters. K is the spring constant. So it's essentially a measure of the stiffness of the object. Remember, these topics also come later on. But initially, in the energy topic, you just need to know what the equations are, what they are, and what the equations are. So spring constant, the stiffness of an object is measured in newtons per meter. And then elastic potential energy, again, it's an energy, so it's measured in joules. Okay, so that's important for that. Now, that's 2 equations down. The third equation is one that interacts with kinetic and elastic potential sometimes, gravitational potential energy at the bottom here. Okay, the greater the height of an object, the greater the gravitational potential energy it has. So therefore we see EP for gravitational potential. And what I'll do is I'll change kinetic energy for EK, because that's energy but kinetic. So EP, the gravitational potential energy, is mass times gravity times height. And there it is. We said the higher the object, the greater the gravitational potential energy. So it's there. Yeah, Jalen, nice. You got it already. MGH. So just to throw something else in there, this mg, that's mass times gravity. Has anyone seen what that is equal to? That is also an equation. Who can tell me? Mass times gravity equals to what? Who knows the answer to that? quickly in there. Yeah, Philip is right. Weight. Yeah, so sometimes you'll see weight times height, because if they give you someone weighs 100 kilograms, you'd use mgh. If they said someone weighs 1,000 newtons, you'd use wh. Yeah, making sure you don't add gravity twice. Correct. Well done, guys. Everyone's getting it. Funny. Someone's called Newton and they've put an equation for gravity in there. Ironic. So, do I need a calculator for the Kahoot? Just in case. You shouldn't, if I remember right, but just in case, just keep one on your side. You've got a few minutes to do it. So if you don't have it already, you can grab it. Don't think you should need it, but just keep it by your side just in case. Cool. So that is the different types of energy, okay, and their equations. So we've covered that. I'm going to mark that as complete as well. So let's move on from that. Guys, remember, this is all, for those of you that are new, this is all on flashrevisionlab.com. So what I'm doing right now in going through the notes and ticking the topics, you sign up to our website completely free. You can do that as well. Yeah, so you can see we're trying to give you a resource of notes to work with. And remember, there are questions that we can try as well. If I get time before I start the quiz, we'll quickly look at a couple of questions. So we've done that, and then here we're talking about specific heat capacity. So Ashwin, good point. It's been a while since I've gone there. Let me show you guys the code. If you want to take part in the quiz, kahoot.it is the website, and the code is 6322842. Okay. Remember, take a screenshot of yourself in the chat with me in this revision session. Take a screenshot of you hopefully winning this quiz. If you manifest it, hopefully you can make it happen. You screenshot yourself in the quiz, send it to us at help@flashrevisionlab.com. Okay, give that to us and then show us those screenshots and we will give you your prize. Yeah, so take a part in that. I will go back. It's here at the top here. Whoever asked for it, Malika, 6322842. Hello, by the way. Haven't seen you in a little while, I think. Hope you're doing well. 6322842. Hopefully you can be in with a chance today. So I'm going to move back. I'll say it one more time, 6322842. Okay, I'm going to put it also here just for reference in case I jump out of this screen. So Kahoot code is 6322842. Okay, so good. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. It's another Sunday. Weeks keep flying by, but we're enjoying ourselves. Yeah. So just enjoying another chance to give you guys a chance to win a prize, have a bit of fun, learn a bit of science. What's not to love? So let's go back to the revision here. So specific heat capacity. Yeah, you can join, no problem. You still have a few minutes. Don't worry about it. No major rush just yet. But make sure you get in there. 6322842. Yes, I've remembered it. 6322842. So specific heat capacity, okay, it's kind of a measure of how easy or difficult it is to change the temperature of a substance. Okay, so it's the energy required to change 1 kilogram of a substance's temperature by 1 degree C. Okay, so if we compare the two substances here, we have water and we have oil. Yeah? The SHC for water is higher because it needs more energy to make that temperature change than it does with oil. Okay, oil is easier to heat up and cool down basically than water, therefore it has a lower specific heat capacity. Okay, and with that comes an equation. Again, quite an equation heavy topic this. Change in energy, delta E equals mc delta theta. Anytime you see a triangle, that means change in. Yeah, so remember that. So here we have change in temperature. Okay, theta for temperature is weird. Sometimes you see it as T, but if you see theta, it's a measure for temperature. Unkind head rabbit, good luck. I will keep an eye out for you there. Okay, no problem. So using that equation, there can be ways that you ask to work out one of these four things. Yeah, but you'll know the others. Yeah, so they ask you for energy, they'll definitely give you mass, specific heat capacity, change in temperature. And any way around you want to flip it for any of those four things. So that is specific heat capacity. I also want to grab in on the last bit here before I look at a question here before we get into the quiz, is the experiment for specific heat capacity. This often comes up. It's our first required practical in physics in the syllabus. It's the first time you see one, and it's for the measure or calculating specific heat capacity. So I'm quickly going to talk through it. So important things when you do experimental like explanations, 6 markers, you want apparatus, what pieces of equipment you're using. You want to explain the method you're using, and then past that, sometimes they may not ask for it, but you will usually interpret your results. How do you do that? Plot a graph of something and then explain what you see as a trend in the graph as a result of your experiment. Okay, so in this case, we have a metal block. Yeah, so that's the unknown substance we want to find the specific heat capacity of. We then have an immersion heater. We immerse the heater in the block. Yeah, so it goes inside the block. It's good to know. Yeah, it needs to be inside so we can heat up the whole of the block evenly. Okay, so the immersion heater is what heats up the block. Okay, then we have the thermometer, so we can monitor the temperature of the block, some insulation around it, because obviously if we had a hot metal and we just left it out, it's going to lose heat to the surroundings. So we have some insulation around it. And then we have a joule meter to measure the energy used by the immersion heater to heat the block up, a battery because the immersion heater runs off electricity, and then a mass balance so that we know the mass of the metal block. Because remember this equation, I put this down here again. We've just seen it. Delta E, change in energy, equals mass times specific heat capacity times the change in temperature, delta theta. Okay. In this experiment, what have I said? The immersion heater provides the heat, yeah, to warm up the block. And what are we doing with that? We're going to note the temperature of the block, and the temperature at the beginning and the temperature at the end. Yeah, so you heat it before you heat it, measure the temperature, and at the end you measure the temperature, and you find the difference. That's your delta theta. Yeah, so found using the two pieces of equipment there, right? Immersion heater to heat it up, and the thermometer to measure the temperature. Yeah, so immersion heater and thermometer. Sorry, squeezing that in there. So the thermometer and the immersion heater are used for that. We then have the insulation around it just to prevent heat to the surroundings. The energy, a joule meter, right? Remember, everyone, we said energy is measured in joules. A lot of people have said that. So a joule meter is what measures energy, a meter measuring in joules, right? So that's for that. And then mass, that's why we have the mass balance. Yeah, so we're trying to cover off everything we can. We have those three things, so we can record that data, and that data, meaning the only unknown is specific heat capacity. We can then rearrange this equation. Yeah, we have all the information, we can rearrange it. So measure the mass of the block with the mass balance, place the immersion heater in the block and the thermometer in the block so you can measure the temperature. And you can see here there are dedicated holes for it, one for the immersion heater, one for the thermometer in this experiment. Yeah, very specifically. Connect the immersion heater to the battery pack and the joule meter, and you're good to go. You start heating it for a certain amount of time, measure the temperature initially, and then at the end, and the same with the joule meter. Measure the joule meter reading at the beginning and the end. Then you can get the energy. And then once you have all of those, you can calculate the specific heat capacity using the equation. Okay. And here, just a small bit, if it's for a liquid, it's set up slightly differently. You have an immersion heater in there, but you don't have a metal block, right? It's a liquid, so it's loose. You need to put it in something. So we put it in an insulating cup. In this case, polystyrene is used. And you have a lid on top, or to stop the heat from escaping. Okay, so it's a subtle difference. So with a, either way, both of them are surrounded by insulation, right? The metal block had an insulation around it. This liquid also does, but the rest of it is still used in a similar fashion, okay? How much longer till the quiz? A couple of minutes now. Okay, so what I'm going to do, we've covered everything I wanted to cover. Okay, so I've ticked that all, and you can see here the bar would have gone even further up, right? So if I get up there, I've gone through a few topics. There you go. See, the bar's almost full because I just left power at the end. I didn't cover that, right? I'm covering the hoot, just like I said, Mohammed, in a couple of minutes. We're just about to start. I'm going to show the quiz one more time. We've only got 11 people, and there's over 20 people in the chat. So a few people either haven't messaged in the chat and haven't signed up to the quiz, or they have messaged in the chat and aren't in the quiz. Either way, get in the quiz, okay? I want to see 20 people. 20 of you are on now, so please do join in. No need to apologize. I'm happy. We're just about to jump in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to give you the last chance now. It's the final countdown to get in there to get the quiz going. So please do join in. I've seen a drop off in my light. Sorry, people, still only 12 people. So guys, get your names already here. It's a good chance for you to win this. Live is lagging a bit. Okay, it might be a small connection issue. Hopefully it picks up. But obviously with the quiz, if it's lagging, go by the website. Yeah, I'm going to obviously be talking, engage in the chat here after, but always when you're doing this quiz, do it on, obviously on the, don't wait for me to do the question on here because it will just be a few seconds out. So just follow it from the website. Okay. www.kahoot.it 6322842. Okay. 11 people only, 12 people. I'm giving a final call to people to join. Remember, it's on everything we've covered so far. So I want to see, I will mention it. Make sure, I hope that you've been listening so that you can capture some of these. Yeah, I want to see some good high scores here, some good healthy competition between everyone. I'm going to make a start. If you guys are ready, I'm going to give it another few seconds. 13 people we've got. Is that it? A higher chance for people today. Slightly higher. Yeah, we're going to make a start then. Let's do it. Okay, let's go. So, let's do this. It's working. Yes. Okay, so our first question is going to be a poll. Okay, so what is the hardest topic in GCSE physics? Okay, something specifically with people. I just want to see what people struggle with topic wise. I know someone mentioned earlier about work done and acceleration. So, Oliver, I think that was you. You may mention forces. Yeah, so that might be yours. Let's see what people are saying. Quite a few answers mostly there. Let's see. Yeah, some people say magnetism. I would personally say magnetism is one of the harder ones. Yeah, maybe magnetism and some of waves. Yeah, it depends. Some of it can be tricky, but yeah, when I was learning, I've always thought, yeah, magnetism, and it was always near the end, right? It's one of the last topics, so always one that's always a bit more tricky to get. But where do people lie? Yeah, a lot of people have said that. Yeah, 36% of people have said magnetism. Okay, so yeah, people are finding that a bit tricky. Electricity also probably why. But yeah, you guys, it's exactly what we do these things for. Trying to start your revision process. Yeah, now is the time to kind of get that going. My light's back. There we go. Hopefully you can see me just in time for me to give us our first question. Are we ready to go? Hopefully everyone can hear me fine. There is a lag. Okay, I'll give it just a few seconds to settle. Hopefully you're on the quiz. I'm about to press next in the next few seconds. Just let it settle for a bit. Hopefully we're good. Good luck, everyone. Okay, let's go. First question. True or false? True or false? Energy cannot be created or destroyed. Read that carefully. Wow, the answers are quick. The answers are very quick. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. Is that true or is that false? Waiting for one or two more answers. Remember, if you are joining now, it's not too late. You can join. Yeah, you're more than welcome to join. The code is still there. I've put it on the page here, 6322842. Feel free to join. Everyone got it right. That's good to know. It's true, right? The law of conservation of energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred. Great start. But who was fast? 1,000 for determined cat. Have we got a bot? Yes or no? Let's see. Easily, I did think that someone would get 1,000, but everyone is very close because it was a quick true or false question. Great start. Coral is you, Mohammed. You're in there. You're in there. You're in and about it. Someone said shining eel. I think that was Kabina. So you're there as well. Good to see. Yeah, Royal Akbari is shining eel. Nice. Third place. Oh, kind-hearted rabbit was Kabina. Sorry about that. Caring dragonfly, not on there yet. But who's determined cat? Anyone in the chat? Drop it if it's you. Tropical falcon. I also haven't identified you yet. But let's see. Thumbs up from Rockstar Orca. Let's go. Okay. Next question. Pin answer. Okay. So put your pin in the position and press submit. What is used to raise the temperature of the metal block in the experiment? Move your pin to the right location and press submit. Okay. Remember, it doesn't register your answer if you don't press submit. So some people were losing out on that before. Let's see. Okay. Devashri says they're sick and explains why I can't see you. But will you climb up on the next question? Yeah, people are taking their time on this one. There was a bit of a scatter in this. So let's see. Would you say a power supply? Well, you could say power supply to the immersion heater. No, because if you had a power supply to the block, then you're not heating it up. It's the immersion heater that's actually doing the job, right? You could connect the power supply and joule meter to the block and it's not gonna heat up. You need the immersion heater. That is what's raising the temperature. I did say it in the class for those that were there. I said, drop the immersion heater in and that is what is heating it up. And you measure it with a thermometer. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. If you do want to trick them, sorry, because I went to the answer, I only saw it after. Yeah, okay, it's a little tactic there from Mohammed. Fair enough. Maybe you don't want to listen to people, but be careful. Yeah, immersion heater. I did mention it earlier. Immersion heater is the method. So only 6 people got that right. So we're already splitting off a top 6, maybe. And let's see how it's looking. Who is top? Is Determined Cat still on top? Determined Cat dropped, not a bot. Yeah, so Determined Cat has dropped. Let's see. Great Coral. Did someone say that was them? I feel like. Was that you, Mohammed? Did you say you were Great Coral? Yes, you did. You're top. There we go. There we go. You've made it up there. Let's see. Can you keep it? There's only 5 points between you and Exciting Sphinx. Is that Philip? I know Philip doesn't like to tell us until he's at the end, so I'll let him keep that to himself for now. But very, very close between the top two. Silver geckos, we made a little fly up there. Well done. And caring dragonflies, someone who was sick, they said earlier. Sorry again, I forgot who said that. Dabashri. Nice. Okay. Let's see. Gleaming lobster. I don't see that, Malika, but yeah, there is plenty of chance. It's 10 questions today. So we've had 2 already, another 8 to go. Okay. Remember the Kahoot, for those of you that want to join, that haven't joined yet, if you want to take part, 6322842. Okay. Let's go to the next question. It is a quiz question. Back to quiz question. What is the unit of energy measurement? So what is energy measured in? Which one is it? Answers have dropped in rapidly, as I was hoping for. We did say this very clearly. I said you do need to know your units. Who is going to get this one right? A couple of people left to answer. Taking their time a little bit, I think, maybe. Or they're away from their computer or looking at the wrong thing. I don't know. One person just answered with a second to spare. Everyone got it right. Very, very good. Yeah, measured in joules. I was expecting nothing less. I would have been a bit surprised if people had put something else. Let's see how that plays. The leaderboard. Exciting Sphinx and Great Coral still the top 2. Just 6 points in it. Who is that? Slow reaction time, Mohammed said, but you're still top. You're still top. Okay. Tropical Falcon, 2854. Caring Dragonfly making a climb up as well. Debashri is still there. Who is Tropical Falcon? Who is Exciting Sphinx? Who are you, mystery people? Drop it in the chat if you are one of those people. Let's see how we go. Mohammed, keep going. Maybe your day today. Good luck. Pin answer again. Remember, pin and submit. When a ball is thrown up into the air, kinetic energy is converted into what energy store? So which of these? Drag your pin to the correct one and press submit. Remember, kinetic. I did explain this example. I literally did. Yeah. So you can't say I didn't tell you, because I did. Which one is it? A ball is thrown in the air. Kinetic energy. The ball rises. What is it going to change into? Maybe a bit of a hand with that. You think Sphinx is Philip Mohammed? We'll find out. A man of mystery. He's a man of mystery. Come on, it's thermal, guys. Giving an answer. There's only 2 people left. Let's wait and see. Philip says, yes, I thought so. I thought you would say that. Let's have a look. Everyone's pinned it. Everyone's pinned it on gravitation potential. Very good. Yeah, it's what I explained. And I'm glad to see everyone was listening. So fantastic job. Good. It's elastic. It's too late to throw people off. The answer will come in. Let's see how that sets the leaderboard up. Exciting Sphinx has taken a lead. It's only 6 points, but it's very close. We have a very interesting top 2. Is Philip smirking behind his screen, not telling us he's the winner? Let's see. Great Coral, you're really close still, Mohammed. Just all to play for. But those are our top 2 so far. Tropical Falcon, Caring Dragonfly aren't that far behind. Remember, one mistake and it blows this whole thing wide open. Remember, our Determining Cat seems like a long time ago. Only 3 questions ago, they had an absolute perfect 1,000, and I can't see them anywhere, unfortunately for them. They may be underneath. Chance to come back. Okay. Your submit was so delayed. That's a shame, Hazan. But you know the answer, right? Everyone got it right, so I'm glad to see you know it ultimately. Cool. Next one. Let's go. So, quiz question again. Which energy type is stored in food? Another thing I've said. If you're paying attention, I did say this. Hopefully you also know this. Answers dropped in pretty quickly. 1 or 2 more. I think 1 more person left to answer. Let's see. Kinetic. I see some answers throwing people off. Do you think now you've done it too many times? People know that's the wrong answer. So you're giving them a 1 in 3 chance of getting it right. Maybe. Yeah. Roy Labari has given us the correct answer. Everyone has put it. Chemical energy. Very good. Yeah, I did say food, for example, is 1 for us. Oil and petrol and diesel for a car. Batteries for an electrical appliance. They are all sources of chemical energy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I see, Mohammed. You never know. Maybe you're throwing yourself into a trap, or what we can say like a double bluff. Yeah. So a double negative. Let's see. How is the leaderboard looking? No one was thrown off by that. Change again. Great Coral. That is you, Mohammed. You've risen up. Exciting Sphinx has dropped. Maybe Exciting Sphinx made a mistake. Maybe it isn't Philip. Oh no, it is the person that's got right. It just went fast enough, maybe moving their pin across. How many questions are there? There are 10 in total. We've had 5. Yeah, so another 5 to go. So at the halfway stage, Alicia, every chance of winning. So don't rule anything out yet, because people are likely to make mistakes, or are they? Is Great Coral Mohammed going to bring it home for the first time after being 3rd and 2nd recently? Or is it going to be someone else? Tropical Falcon staying in with a chance. Caring Dragonfly, Debashri, you're doing really well as well. Definitely in with a chance, at least definitely for 2nd, you're in with it. and first, you are not far away. A few more quick answers, and you might be right up there. We need more multi-select questions. Okay, yeah, I think it's something that someone mentioned to Neen maybe previously. We definitely are looking at doing more of those, but we're obviously adding some variety, some pins, some sliders, some different questions. Yeah, so people can't just drop in multiple choice answers. Okay, moving on to the next one. Halfway through, let's see what the next question is. What unit is the spring constant measured in? I did go through this as well. Remember, you need to know your units. Which one is the correct one? Be careful. Most people have answered pretty quick, to be fair. Again, so I remember I said spring constant is about how stiff a substance is, yeah, how hard it is to stretch it or squash it. Compress being the technical term. We're waiting for one more answer. There we go. Mix. Okay, some people made mistakes. Hopefully, there's people that were here and engaging in the chat that realized newtons per meter was the correct answer. What if it's a sixth form student or uni students join the stream? Yeah, I mean, we can tell who people are as well. So we'll see. I don't see we've seen any. Is it free £20 for them? You never know. You never know if they've clicked the wrong answer. It can throw things off. People are sometimes too quick to answer, trying to win the prize, end up getting it wrong and drop right down. Yeah, so there's that balance. It's not always an unfair advantage for them. There aren't many of them here. I don't think there's anyone here at the moment that is an A-level student, unless it's you. Unless it's you, Hassan. Who knows? It says it could be you. I don't know. Mohammed, you got it wrong. No, I did mention it. This is why I was saying pay close attention to units. Yeah, I said you do need to know your units, and I mentioned newtons per meter. That's a shame, but it's not over. It's not over. Let's see how the leaderboard looks. And there we can see Great Coral has dropped to fourth, unfortunately for you, but you're still in the top four. So you could fly up. Hassan is giving us a little laugh. Could it be them? It's free money. Is it? We'll see. We'll see who ends up being the winner. Exciting Sphinx is now top. They were in and around it. Someone else has dropped off as well who was there. Quite a few changes, actually. Quite a lot of changes. But I tell you what, Caring Dragonfly, I think that's Debashiri. You're right up there. You are right up there. Keep going. Let's see. Malaika, you're in 10th. That's okay. You're 6th. I'm sure those points are really close together. Let's see how it looks all together come the end. You're all in and around it. Yeah, so plenty to play for. Okay. Don't cry. It's all right. It's not all about the quiz. Remember, it's about learning. Yeah. So anything you've made a mistake on, it's all important how you learn from your mistakes. Yeah. That's even more valuable, I'd say. Yeah. £20 not going to take you that far, but it's a good prize. Yeah. The £25. I know I asked this actually. No one's mentioned what they're going to spend the winnings on if they win it. Yeah. I always ask this every week because I get some interesting answers. We say some people said food, some people say revision materials, some people say saving up for a car. I think it was Mohammed. Was that you last time? Someone said saving up for a car. That was a good one. But yeah, hopefully someone gets to use it this week and we'll see them enjoy tripod for photography. That's a nice one. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so going on to the next question. Again, guys, sorry, I forgot to say in the chat, please I see people aren't doing it, but I appreciate that you do. Please like the video, give it a bit of hype. It helps us to get some traction, get some more people involved. We can get up to that 50 mark we were saying to get three prizes out here. So yeah, please do give us a like, hype it up. Thank you very much. So gift cards for Uber Eats. Yeah, that's what I would do. To be honest, that's a good answer. I would do that. But yeah, let's carry on. Let's see how we get on with the next one. 4 questions left. Typing answer. When you stretch a rubber band, kinetic energy is converted into what potential energy? Type your answer. Now they're coming in. Let's see. I know there's no bots because that took a regular amount of time to type the right word. So it's whether you've spelled it correctly. Remember, if you make a spelling mistake, it could cost you. So 1 or 2 answers left. I think one person left to answer. Let's see what people have put. I take so long to type. It depends. Are you doing it on your phone or are you doing it on your laptop? I can understand. It depends what, right? On your phone, you have like where you can kind of swipe your hand across to like make the text. I sometimes use that and it makes sure I don't make any mistakes. But not a single mistake. Fantastic. Elastic. Yeah. Fantastic elastic. Bit of a rhyme there. Nice. Elastic potential energy. Yeah, I kept saying when you stretch or compress an object, stretching a rubber band. I said it about 5 times, I think. So glad to see people picked up on it. It's elastic potential energy. Someone's going to get a phone. Fair enough. For £25, that's a decent discount. My hands are too sticky, sweaty, nervous maybe. Let's see how this has changed the leaderboard. So Exciting Sphinx is still ahead only by 8 points. So Debashri, I think that was you carrying Dragonfly, still very much in with a chance of first, if not securing second. Silver Gecko's in with a chance. Vivid Tiger has made a rise. And Rational Salamander, who is that? They're on a 5-answer streak. Well done to you. Because this quiz, people haven't actually had a streak that they usually would. Not many people have. Okay, excellent. Can I do my feedback interview on Friday? Yeah, of course you can. That would work. Stay in touch with us and we can arrange for that. Thank you very much. Action, it's you. Which one is you? Sorry, Rational Salamander. Nice, nice. Well done. Good to see. Yeah. Hopefully you can make your way up onto the leaderboard with that streak continuing. Okay, next one. Let's go. So another 3 questions left. Yeah. Quiz question again. What is the unit? Again, I said units were important. Specific heat capacity this time. Don't get confused. Don't get confused with what's written there. Okay. If you can think of the equation, if you're stuck, look at rearranging that or putting the units in for that, and that should give you your answer. So you can see some people are pausing. There's a few seconds left. What have people put? I also think we should do 20 questions to give people who are low on the leaderboard an opportunity to rise up. Let's get a consensus here to see who is that. Oh, let's see. 10 people got it. So just over half of the people got it right. Some people I thought would get caught out with the third answer, seeing joules first and pressing it, but it's joules per kilogram degree Celsius, not joules kilograms per degree Celsius, because it's energy required to heat 1 kilogram of a substance by 1 degree C. E equals mc delta theta, right? We mentioned that. I put the equation here. If you rearrange it for specific heat capacity, C equals change in energy over mass times change in temperature. So joules on the top, kilograms and degrees Celsius on the bottom. Yeah, joules per kilogram degrees Celsius. That is where the answer comes from. Well done to you that got it right. Unlucky for those that didn't. Let's see how that changes the leaderboard. So Exciting Sphinx is out in the lead with a streak, the highest answer streak. Are they going to run away with it? It may well look like it now with a 900-point lead. Bubble Bunny 6647 in second place. A great rise for you. Debashri's lost your spot, but only by 2 points. Definitely in with a chance. Bubbly Bunny is you, Hassan. Nice. What a jump from you. Let's see if you can keep that up for the last couple of questions. Tropical Falcons there. Haven't seen you in a while. Well done for coming back up. Silver Gecko is 6615. So still in with a chance. Definitely in with a chance for second. Maybe first is running away with it, but let's see. Devashri, still a chance. Don't worry. There are a couple of questions left to salvage it. Let's go. So type answer again. Sticky fingers, Hassan. Are you going to manage this one? When an object falls, gravitational potential energy is converted to what energy? Someone wrote pretty quickly there. Now the answers are coming in. Have you got it right? Have you spelt it right? Remember, spelling is oh so important. Let's see what people have put. A couple more answers left. I'll leave you the time to answer. Should come through any second now. Hopefully, you're not just going backwards and forwards in your keyboard. Otherwise, you're not in with a chance. Let's see what people have put. Another couple of seconds, and we'll get our reveal. It's kinetic. Don't throw people off. It's too late if you did. Oh, no. People have put it. People have spelled it wrong. The right answer is kinetic. Yeah, or you can say Ki, kinetic. Yeah, it's kinetic energy. It's kin. Yeah, Kin, not Ken. Someone put kinetok. That must be a slip of the finger. Unfortunate. This was the thing. I'm really sorry, Daisy Lover. I said spelling is so important. Yeah, spelling was vital. I said that several times. Unfortunately, you got it wrong. 6th, you spelled Kenatalk. That is such a shame. That's what I was saying. You put the wrong letter. It's so unfortunate. Let's have a look. How does that change the leaderboard? Exciting Sphinx. I think they've run away with it now, unless he gets an answer wrong. You never know. You never know. Malaika, no. Yeah, you put kinetic with an E, didn't you? So unfortunate. It's okay. You should know this time. It's with an I, okay? It's with an I, kinetic energy. We've got Bubbly Bunny still in second. So Hassan, your sticky fingers stayed true. They didn't let you down. You're in there just about 20 points ahead. Not much in it for second place, but I think first has it wrapped up. Unless, and we've seen it before, getting the answer wrong. You never know, okay? So Bubbly Bunny, you might have a chance. As do Tropical Falcon, Silver Gecko, and Rational Salamander. You all do have a chance. Yeah, you're in with a chance of winning. Let's see what the last question is going to be. Are you ready? Let's go. Pin answer. Which of these measures the amount of energy transferred? So we saw the experiment. Which one does this? I did explain this. This is the last one for today. The last question. Who is going to get the top spot? Who's going to get the second spot? £25 and £5 gift vouchers up for grabs. Who is going to get them? Let's see. 3 more answers, I think, left. Is Philip giving you the answer? Is Philip throwing you off? Is it a joule meter? Is it not? Remember, I did mention it a couple of seconds to go. It is a joule meter. It is. A couple of people put thermometer. Thermometer is for temperature measurement, isn't it? Yeah, use a thermometer to measure your own temperature, just like you are here. It's for temperature, not for energy. Energy is measured in joules, so it's a joule meter. Remember, we talked about energy being measured in joules, so it has to be joule meters. So let's see. Demonstrate, yeah, is it the end? It is the end. Philip says he's on the podium, but where on the podium? Let's see. Okay. The podium is in 3rd place, Silver Gecko. Well done. I saw you in and out of the top leaderboard, so nicely done. Bubbly Bunny, I think that was Hassan. You are 2nd, which means in 1st. It was really close. Tropical Falcon. That means that wasn't it Exciting Sphinx? Where did that come from? That means, so who was Exciting Sphinx? He dropped off. No way that happened last minute. There you go. See, it never is over till the very end. That is exactly what that shows you. Tropical Falcon, that is you. I'd had a suspicion that it might be you, Philip. Well done. Well done. Guys, Bubbly Bunny, and that was Hassan, and obviously yourself, Philip. Just send us, as I've said, we've got it highlighted here. Send me a screenshot of you participating in the chat during the revision session, and then also with you in this quiz with the Kahoot victory, and send it to help@flashrevisionlab.com. Guys, well done. That was enjoyable. I did not expect that last minute plot twist, but you never know. This is the game. The game's the game, as they say. Yeah, unlucky to those of you that didn't make it. Silver Gecko very close, and some other people on the leaderboard really close. Some unfortunate mistakes in there. Ultimately, I just hope that you guys learned something today, and hopefully you find it useful. Come and join us at Flash Revision Lab. Like I said, flashrevisionlab.com is our website where we showed all the notes. And for those of you who want to join our classes, FRL classes, you can find that on flashrevisionlab.com. And I showed here frleducation.com if you want to show your parents before signing up. Yeah, if we want to make sure that you're comfortable, but please do come and join us to hopefully we can help you going forwards. So how many tries? You only got 1st today. I know you've always been on the podium. There you go. It's not impossible. Yeah, so well done. Keep at it, everyone. And it'll be your turn as well. But today is Philip's day. Yeah, maybe about 6 quizzes, I'd say. And you've been close several times, as you've said. Maybe next time. Unlucky, Mohammed. Honestly, you done it. You put a good fight. Debashri as well. You put up a good fight. But there you go. Someone's done it. You've done. You started 26 last time and got 2nd. It's possible, guys. Yeah. So well done, Philip. Honestly, congratulations to you. Well done. Obviously, follow the instructions as I've said, and we will give you your prize. Well earned. So I'm just going to stay on for a minute or two if anyone wants to ask any questions. I know someone mentioned briefly about acceleration and work done. So work done is in the forces topic. Yes, for those of you who have seen it, it's the force times the distance applied. So the force applied on an object to move it a particular distance. Yeah. So the equation for that is work done. I do that in my pen. Work done. W equals force times distance. Distance given the letter S. Now work done as a result of that, force is measured in newtons, distance in meters. So the unit for work done is Newton meters. Okay, so that's one thing you need to know. And then you need to know also that work done, as well as being in Newton meters, is the same as energy transferred. Yes, so as we've seen in this topic, transfer of energy, work done is also energy transferred. When you're doing work on an object, you're transferring energy to it. Therefore, the unit for work done can also be joules. Remember I was saying even today, it's joules for the unit for energy. It's also joules for work done. It's important to know the units for the different things in physics. See you on Wednesday, Debashri. Bye, guys. Thanks, Mohammed. You are going to try and get first next time, Debashri. Do your best. Next time, it can vary. Sometimes we've had like 15 questions, somewhere between 10 to 15. Philip, should I do econ or physics at A level? So difficult one. I didn't do economics at GCSE either, so I don't know what it's like. I do feel like it's quite essay and writing heavy. So if you like that kind of thing, can do that. Obviously, it's recalling facts and supply and demand and things like that. I don't want to show my naivety too much. I don't know too much about it. But physics, obviously, I did it for A level. It is tricky. It's one of the harder A levels. I think chemistry and physics are two of the hardest A levels. But if you're good at physics at GCSE, which I think you are, Philip, so I wouldn't discourage you from doing it. If you find it enjoyable as well, then more reason to do it. But yeah, I did maths, physics, chemistry, and further maths for A level, so they all kind of interlinked to what I wanted to do as a job. So that all worked out well for me. So it's all dependent on that. If you want to do both, yeah, why not? Why not keep your options open when you go to university and applying for jobs, right? You want to keep your options open into your career you want to take if you're not sure. So both is certainly an option for you. So yeah, definitely. Please, 15 questions. We will try to get it, but obviously this does take us time to make. Yeah, and we're obviously doing classes, we're making workbooks, updating the notes, updating the website. There is a lot for us to do, but we will do our best to try and make it 15 to 20. Yeah, we will hear you out. But if you can, guys, get more people involved. Yeah, that's what's also going to help us. Having more people involved, then making more questions is going to make it more of a fight throughout the whole of the people if we get more people involved. Yeah. But yeah, cool. The last bit, I don't know if the guys here, but we spoke about acceleration equations. Someone said there are only two acceleration equations you need to know, and the difference is basically based on what information they give you in the question. Okay, one of them is change in velocity over time, delta v over t, otherwise known as v minus u over t. Okay, and the other one, we've seen it in the formula sheet, but again, you don't need to remember it, but it's all about using it. Yeah, so v squared minus u squared equals 2as. You can see here there's the letter s, so which is for displacement or distance. So if the question involves that, that's when you'd use this equation. If the equation involves just time, then you'd use this equation. See, you can see the difference there. This one has time. The other one doesn't have time, it has displacement. So that's how you know the difference of when to use which equation. Okay. So when you do it, and when I've done it in our classes, for those of you that have been in our classes, every time I have an equation, I go, what do I know? What do I not know? Yeah. And I highlight those. That helps me then find out what equation I need to use. That's the best way to do it. Yeah. Yes, you will let people know. Yeah. More people equals less chance of winning. Kind of. Yes. But I mean, there is still variation even between 10 people, right? So, like, we've seen that even today. We had that 13 people. So, there is like more questions to balance it out. Exactly is the point as well. Yeah. If we have more people, but we have more questions, it will balance out. Yeah. Are we doing Kahoot or not? Arthur, if you are here now, you're too late. We've done it. The Kahoot is done. We have our winner in the chat. He's talking right there, right now. Philip, he has won. We've done it for today. If you want to join us for next time, it'll be on Wednesday with Neen. So please do join us on Wednesday again, where we will have another live before half term. So please do take part in that. We will not have one next week for physics because we are on half term. Yeah, so we're going to give you guys a break. So we won't have one next Sunday. So our last one for a couple of weeks will be Wednesday. Okay. So I think it will be a biology quiz this time. We had a chemistry one last Wednesday, so I'm pretty sure it'll be biology. So come and get in touch and get into the quiz for that. Who's going to be the next Philip? We have our winner for today. Thank you very much. You won't see me on Sunday then, unfortunately. Sorry about that, but I will be back the Sunday after. Okay. But you guys also deserve a break. It's been a tough slog in the new year, yeah, from January to now. Enjoy your break, guys, when you get there for half term. Thank you very much, Philip. Well done again. Biology infection and response will come up, so stay in touch, Jada. Guys, if you're not part of Flash Revision Lab, I encourage you really do come and join us, whether it's FRL Pro or FRL classes. Come and join us for our classes, and hopefully we can help you in your last stages to smash those exams come the summer. Okay. Thank you. That's it from me. I'm going to go have a lovely rest of your Sunday evening, and we will see you soon. Take care. Thank you very much.